We have day 2 of the Donna Adelson trial. Yes, I know things are happening with Sarah Boone. I'm going to get to it when I can fit in the time, but we got to talk about this case, and we're dealing with foundational issues outside of the presence of the jury to begin with. They bring up Jason Newland, an investigator. He assembled a notebook that contained divorce filings connected to Donna Adelson. They go to the grandma motion, which is to limit Donna Adelson's contact to the grandchildren. And the response to that email was, wow. There's an email before that where that motion's contents were sent to Donna by Wendy. Then Wendy also sent the parental coordinator's response to the grandma motion to Donna as well, addressed Dear Mom and Dad. Donna was on the way to Tallahassee, which is maybe why she got it in that format instead of the exact pleading. The defense is up. The investigator doesn't know if it was mom or dad who responded, wow. He doesn't have proof Donna herself saw it while on that trip to Tallahassee. States back up. Donna can be confirmed to have read many of the court emails. And wow is a common response to things that are also responded to love mom. There is a pattern of Donna signing mom or sign dad and mom or dad and I. All of this comes back later. Defense says it is speculative because that response doesn't have a name on it, so they don't want it submitted. State says it was sent to a joint email Donna Adelson used and was the primarily one responding to the court filings and even drafted some for Wendy. While defense can say the first might have not gone to Donna, the second was specifically sent to mom and dad. And it can be admitted if a pattern shows they both respond to the email. The judge explains Wendy will be testifying. Oh boy, haven't gotten there yet. By the time I'm recording this, I have not gotten to Wendy. With immunity, while the state questions her, the jury, it's from my understanding, the jury will be removed for the defense proffer for testimony because they expect Wendy to invoke privilege at that time and not answer the defense's questions. Judge points out there'll be a huge hurdle for the defense to try to force any testimony out of her if that's what they're trying to do. Jury is in. Investigator Jason Newland, the one we just talked about, is up again, and this time in front of the jury. They hand him the massive divorce filing binder. I'm talking, it's like this thick, right? It's huge. And I've actually had a binder that thick before. When I was in college, we had an exam that didn't limit how big a cheat sheet could be. And people are like, could it be pre-written notes? Could it be diagrams from the internet? Could it be, and we went down the list, and eventually the teacher was like, take whatever you want and put it in a binder if you want. So me and a bunch of others, most of the class, added a bunch of notes. We had a bunch of pages to go to, like an index, and we printed out the entire textbook and brought that to our exam. Teacher allowed it. They didn't tell us no. With that being said, little story there. They could tell Donna was the primary one interacting with the emails because she also had a daily planner. They made a state filing that is all of the segments that they can 100% confirm Donna were involved with. It comes with a PowerPoint even to help the jury because basically it's kind of like what we had to do in college. Kind of why I brought it up. It's so big, you need to have an index saying for this type of question found in section AA, you need to check section CQ, that type of thing. So it's a little confusing. So honestly, part of this segment, in my opinion, is kind of teaching the jury how to actually go through it when they do deliberations. That's my opinion there. I think part of this was to instruct the jury. Now, Wendy filed for the dissolution of marriage, and Donna saw it. Next is a substitution of counsel request. Donna sent an email 7 days earlier about switching the counsel. Donna's involved again. An email is shown between Donna and Charlie where Wendy left because the lawyer told her she shouldn't have taken half the savings. So, Donna and Wendy, I guess, don't like being told no and literally switched lawyers when they were told you shouldn't have done that. And because of this, things keep standing out at trial. I want to quote this part because this keeps happening. All right. Quote is, he is Jewish, and there are very few Jewish family law people in Tallahassee, so Wendy must make sure that her's not the person that Susser had in mind to send this to. So many. Donna is like, I mean, we got wanting to have the children in SS uniforms. We've got Donna's statement about a black judge. It's just, I mean, the jury doesn't know about the black judge, but they know about everything else, right? And it's just going to get worse. It's not making her look good. I'll put it that way. Donna drafted an email to send to a law firm, and she did it in Wendy's voice. She would say I, but she meant Wendy. Part of it is saying, Danny and I moved to Tallahassee for his job at the Florida State University College of Law. I have been upset about this move since it happened in 2005. It continues about how there are 16 Christian, Catholic, and Baptist schools in Tallahassee with over 3,600 students. Says the children will not be attending a Hebrew day school, not be brought up kosher or religious if they're in Tallahassee. It ends with, that's not a threat, just a reality. Remember, this is all coming from Donna. Now, did Wendy do all of this? And no, Wendy said no at certain points to her mom. The defense will bring that up later. But Donna's trying to pull the strings. Again, they show Donna referring to herself as the mom of the boys because it was written for Wendy. There's another response from Wendy that is forwarded to Donna and Harvey. Donna asked for items and Wendy sent them. Next is Wendy's filing to move the children into Donna's home. Wendy sent it to her mom, requesting she edit it 3 months before it was filed. So this is, I dropped my phone. It's fine. This is very much showing that Donna is deeply involved in all this. Donna replied with edits, signed "Love You, Mom." Donna's questions and sent to the attorney, and then response sent back to Donna. So yeah, they're basically, Wendy was a go-between because the attorney was speaking to Wendy. Another email was shown that was actually meant for Wendy's lawyer, trying to claim the husband is the reason her jobs are limited in Tallahassee, so Wendy should get even more money, and it be a bargaining chip. Next, the filing to prevent Wendy from moving with the kids from Danny. Once examined in context, the sole stated reason for the wife seeks to relocate with the party's minor children is so she can be closer to her parents. Accordingly, the only reasons for the relocation are happier mom and more access to wife's parents. So he's basically saying the only reason for the move is Donna. He alleged Wendy is using the children as pawn. Wendy also lied that he wants to leave his job. So Wendy lied to the court, according to him. He claims that Wendy is preventing the children from Skyping with him and is failing in the agreement. He calls Wendy deceitful and has unclean hands. The wife who unilaterally helped herself up to $400,000 of assets she only barely contributed to. This court should award decision-making authority over education, medical, and religious matters solely to the husband. Donna's response included, most of what the Dark Lord attests to is hearsay between the two of you. Well, guess what, Donna? This time we have you saying it, so. Donna signs these things, "Love You, Mom." Donna also sent emails about how she is working on more responses. Donna responded to the husband's memoranda of law, and it included, obviously, his 23-page rant was insufficient, so he's trying to push the court to deny hearing your petition. Jibbers has made his divorce a full-time job to attempt to get what he's always gotten, his way. And the way she says gibbers, people also like, is this a racial slur that I'm not aware of? A lot of people seem to think it's jibber jabber and her shortening it because Donna is Donna. I couldn't find a direct slur, but hey, it is Donna Adelson, and I expect her to say slurs. So if it's a slur, I do apologize, but I also want to be correct because this is a court filing. Oh, it's said in court. So I couldn't find it being a slur. So Donna says the most important part of the divorce is relocation. Donna also said Danny think he's a very important person, as always he and his needs come first. Oh, that's just Donna talking about herself. Next is Danny being called a religious zealot. with the example being that he took his children to a synagogue a few times, such a zealot, and claims it is to show the congregation he is an attentive father, with attentive in quotes. They claim Danny is indoctrinating his children, not teaching them because he isn't sending them to a religious school. Donna in the email suggests a bribe of plane tickets for him to visit his own children after the move. Everything's about money with Donna, you'll notice. Kind of like some others. Donna complains Danny isn't giving enough money. Oh, I forgot that was next. Not paying Wendy's legal fees, bridge gap alimony, and she says not paying all his child support. Loving, caring father that he is. Just makes me think of Boone. I still haven't heard Donna speak yet, purposefully, so far it's just been me imagining all of this in Sarah Boone's voice or Lori's voice, depending on what's being talked about. Donna says she's too angry to write anymore and she's ready for you and the boys to come home. Love you, Mom. And then we learn about how all this took place. While the husband was away on a short business trip, the wife left the husband and the marital home on or about September 20th, 2012, taking with her the children, their furniture, clothing, toys, and whatever assets and furniture, both marital and non-marital, she desired. Furthermore, for the first 6 weeks following the separation, the wife refused to share any correct information with the husband regarding her whereabouts with children. Lucky this wasn't a Lori Vallow situation. Donna also said she would no longer do Skype calls because 3 conversations a month with their father was disruptive and not in the best interest of the boys. Wendy had a pattern of keeping him from his children. Donna's deposition was being sought in the divorce. Wendy responds with insulting Danny, talking of how she will go, how I think it's Donna responded with insulting Danny, talking of how Donna will go on a cruise at that time, but still going to work actively on the divorce documents. Donna lists dates of Danny traveling on a document. In my opinion, a lot of emphasis on when he would go to Israel. In my opinion, a lot of emphasis on that, like bold in the document. Donna claimed Dan traveled too much. Donna sent Wendy a detailed list of every trip he ever took. So why does Donna just have a list the entire marriage of where he's ever been? And the answer from the detective is Donna kept track of a lot of things. Dan's filing says the wife's pleadings are vague, filled with rank and obvious falsehoods, and the legal analysis is fundamentally inept. He said it should be dismissed and costs awarded. Says if costs are not awarded, then wife and her affluent parents who are bankrolling wife's litigation so that she can enjoy closer access to the grandchildren will persist in a fictitious and groundless litigation. He says it will prevent the parents from raising their children. Wife's attempt to move children was denied with prejudice. Donna complained to a friend about losing and said he won't be able to relocate at the moment. Donna made it clear she was beyond angry. So it's not over for Donna. In reply to setting date for the final divorce trial, Donna says to never, never, never give up. Talks of making Dan's life miserable. Says this will affect Wendy's life, Dad's, mine. So she's talking about herself, and yes, even Charlie's. Remember, Charlie's in prison now. He tells Wendy to act. Donna outlines a plan of action. Of course she does. 1, take photos outside of a church sign to post publicly. 2, Donna says she will help get a Christian tutor to teach the boys about Jesus. She's using religion as a weapon. Of course. 3, get the boys baptized and send out invite to Gibber's family. 4, find summer camp for the boys. Donna will pay. Enroll them for classes at a church, prove their enrollment. You can't tell anyone it's an act. And in all caps, take control from him. Get to him psychologically. He's going to want you to stop this. Offer him money to relocate and send the children to a private Hebrew academy. Donna says, we don't want Danny to continue his religious influence over these children, and that when they come of age, they might choose to live with him. Don't let him have this power over them or you. So Donna's already taking ownership of the children against their own choices. Of course she is. sent from mom and dad, but repeatedly the I referred to is Donna. Donna wants the husband held in contempt and claims for settlement agreement that he owes $10,000. So she wants even more money, telling Wendy, ask for more. Donna has a plan to aggravate Dan by making him do research and show statements from every month from date of marriage to date of divorce. Donna admits they're doing it because he deposed her and asks Wendy to find out what her lawyer can do and give him some grief. Donna wants Wendy to work on a plan of attack with her lawyer. Something has to be done about this asshole, and ends with, love, mom and dad. Danny offered to settle the divorce, that neither party will attempt to relocate the children. And that if she doesn't agree, he will file motions for her disclosure, he will file motions for her failed disclosure of substantial assets. How Miss Adelson fraudulently induced the settlement. How she made demonstrably false testimony before the court and under oath in deposition. How she ignores court orders, discovery requests, and made false responses. Wendy was a member of the Florida Bar at this time. He claims he will prove Wendy's lawyer's frivolous petition to relocate was already deemed impossible to win by another board-certified lawyer, standing silently while her client divulged privileged attorney-client information and advising Miss Adelson to interfere with Mr. Markle's parental rights, becoming willfully of or participate in Miss Adelson's financial misconduct. He's going after Wendy. He's going after her lawyer, the lawyer they went to because the lawyer already told them they were in the wrong. The next part won't be published to the jury until foundation, but it is talked about. State says this is the document about his kids, saying Donna called him stupid. There was an objection sustained. The state did get to say the response was, wow, which again, they previously said was something Donna regularly said. It was then sent to parental coordinator that responded back and replied back saying it was from mom and dad. There was no hearing. State asks what prevented the hearing. Defense objects, but it's allowed. There wasn't a hearing about keeping Donna away from the kids because Dan was murdered. There was an approach and the defense is up. Defense asks about an email. Doesn't say if dad or mom are the ones who sent that. An email with a single word response was there, but Donna usually does long replies. You're giving it away by saying usually, right? She didn't this time. She said, wow. In the message about not moving for now, does it say they can relocate if Danny moves? Yes. Donna made suggestions that Wendy said she wouldn't do. So all those things with the uniforms and stuff, Wendy finally told her mom no. I don't think that helps, right? If I'm on the jury, I am hearing this, and I am seeing a control freak who got told no by her daughter and is being accused of the person that her daughter wouldn't join in a plot against, like, found her, like, limit. This just makes, I mean, it's not evidence, right? But it's motive. Why would Wendy personally involve herself in this? Well, why would she go this far? Because her daughter told her no, and she can't be told no. She controls everyone. States back up. Did relocation happen? Yeah. After the murder. Donna got what she wanted. They moved in with Donna and then later got a permanent home close by. Now, that's my first segment. And I think Wendy's up next, so that'll be right now. Wendy Adelson is called, but her lawyer makes a statement first. Wendy is here with a state subpoena that gives her immunity. She will also assert her Fifth Amendment right, and the immunity extends to cross-examination. So from the understanding I'm getting, whatever she says, she can't have used against her, but she could still be prosecuted. That's my understanding. So keep that in mind as I go through this. Oh boy. Wendy is brought up and Donna is smiling at her, and the judge warns Donna to control her emotions, and we take a short break. And it returns and it looks like Donna's about to cry. She's putting on her headset and it falls off her head, and Wendy starts. Wendy is an immigration attorney. They mention her immunity so that what she says in court can't be used against her. And she explains where she met Dan. They met online. They have 2 children, and explains where they worked and lived. Wendy chose to separate, and Dan was upset. Differences in how to raise the children involving the Jewish faith was part of the reason for their separation. She didn't view him as a religious zealot. That's what she says. She claims she thought he was using religion to control her. He followed kosher rules. His beliefs changed over time. He wanted the children to follow it. Both were raised Jewish. So yeah, that's wild. Because remember, Donna was suggesting SS uniforms. And don't worry, she had more Nazi suggestions because of course she did. Wendy explains moving out and says there was no custody arrangement at the time, but it was roughly 50-50. Wendy says Donna wasn't involved in drafting her divorce documents. Donna made suggestions, but not edits. She forwarded Donna's suggestions to her lawyer. She wanted to move to South Florida. In that filing, it was closer to mom, dad, brother. Wendy says she had unstable employment in Tallahassee. Not that she lost a job, but she was worried about it, I guess, from the sounds of it. She had a nice quality of life in Tallahassee. She says it was possible. She sent an email saying worst case is being stuck in Tallahassee. This came right after she acted like she never said that. They present her the email. This is going to be most of my time writing things. I want to be very clear. It's going to sound very repetitive. They ask Wendy a thing. She says she doesn't remember. They show her the thing. She still won't remember, but obviously it happened. For almost everything, right? That's just that's her play. They ask about her explaining how much better your life would be in South Florida. She says not sure. They show her an email. They ask if she used stuck in her actual filing for the relocation. Her lawyer did it. She blames quite a bit on her lawyer, actually. She asked if she complained about the smallness of Tallahassee. Again, she wasn't sure. They show her proof. She talked to Donna about relocation and points out Donna in court. Donna called Wendy being in Tallahassee being a prisoner. Her mom was worried because the judge lived in Tallahassee, that it would somehow be unfair. Talk of her family's work. Wendy said she didn't know who was reading the emails she sent, but Donna replied more. Donna is overprotective and emotional. Wendy previously said her dad was a straight shooter. Wendy says mom isn't controlling. They correct her with what she said in the past and present her with it. Her mom is controlling. One of her parents would drive with Wendy to take the kids to Dan and back and everything. Donna's husband did what she wanted. Wendy tried to say Donna wasn't the dominant force, and again, they correct her with her own statements. Donna micromanaged Wendy's life and career. Donna wanted her to do another type of law. Donna meddled in her dating life. Donna would pre-screen men. Wendy says in the divorce she made the decision she wanted to make. They pointed out her telling a friend her mom was trampling on her autonomy. So she was complaining to other people about how controlling Donna was, even though now she's saying that Donna wasn't. Wendy said Donna didn't hate Dan in 2014, but they bring up the police interview where she said that, Donna hated Dan. Like very clearly. Wendy suggests it was because she was interviewed for 6 hours. Donna talked to Charlie a lot, mothering him into adulthood. So Donna never really let Charlie do his own thing, from the way it sounds. Donna was mad at Dan before his murder, but Wendy doesn't remember. She doesn't remember calling Dan an STD, and they have to show it to her. Wendy says she doesn't remember calling him the Dark Lord. She did call him Gibbers, and the state asks if it's a reference to Jew in boots, and Wendy says she doesn't remember. Okay. Wendy says she doesn't remember saying she hated Dan, and of course, the state has receipts. They show her the phone contacts she had. Wendy doesn't remember calling Dan an emotional terrorist. There's receipts proving it. Dan accused Wendy of taking things like money, stocks, luggage, bicycle, tennis racket, family heirlooms, and more, not letting him into the home to even see what all she took. Wendy denies all of it. except the tennis racket. That was an accident. Wendy claims she didn't plan to leave him in a way to inflict maximum damage and doesn't remember her mom saying it. She told her mom that she would leave. Dan told her to put things aside and act like people the kids would be proud of. Yeah, so Dan was trying to fix things. Her mom helped her get a new place. We'll get more about that soon. Dan threatened Wendy with federal kidnapping charges for how she took the kids. Wendy said he was lying. Wendy claims Dan was willing to work through relocating until it was filed in court. Dan did say her reason for relocation was to live next to Donna. Wendy says she doesn't remember if Dan wanted to depose Donna. Wendy says she thinks her brother would be okay if she stayed in Tallahassee. Wendy says her mom was really upset with her staying in Tallahassee, though, and called it life and death. They ask Wendy if she never would have left Dan Markel without her mom's suggestion. The defense quickly objects because this is detrimental to their case, and it's overruled, and Wendy said she would have left regardless. So she actually answered. She didn't say I can't remember, but the state still has receipts, and they bring up that Wendy said she wouldn't have left him without her mom's suggestion. Yeah, this is ridiculous, I have to say. Wendy says she doesn't remember her mom pretending to be her to get financial information. Then they show it happening. Dan gave concessions and wanted Wendy to come home. It was forwarded to Donna, who did a paragraph by paragraph breakdown mad about it. Of course, Wendy says she doesn't remember it. Wendy says she doesn't know if it is Donna or her dad responding. Her mom might be transcribing it. Donna would express positions for both of them, though. Donna was concerned about Dan's religion and wanted him to have a psychological evaluation. He was Jewish, but there wasn't any. He was an accomplished lawyer, and she wanted a psychological evaluation. Donna called Dan lots of names, and they share some of them. The ones that pointed out to me were narcissist and bully. That's what Donna called Dan. Donna referred to herself as Wendy's South Florida legal team. Wendy keeps saying Gibbers was a silly name every time they point it out, because she knows it looks bad. So Wendy's like, oh, it's a silly name. I forgot to mention that earlier, but it's like, it's a silly name. It's just a silly name. Was it, because there was now insinuation it might have had a racial connotation to it. And so now she's like, it's just a silly name. Donna wanted to fight after the relocation, after it was denied with prejudice. Wendy says Donna had other ideas. Doesn't remember what Donna wanted to do, and doesn't remember Donna wanting to appeal, but there's receipts. Wendy remembers the email saying to pretend the boys are Christian, and Wendy said she would never do it. They ask Wendy if she would know why her mom would Google how to teach an actress emotion. And Wendy says she doesn't know why she would do that. Donna, dad, brother offered $1 million to let her relocate, but Wendy says she never actually offered it to Dan. Donna wanted to take control from Dan Markel. Wendy told her mom pretending the kids were Christian would backfire and just give him more ammunition in court. State asked, did Donna respect Wendy's decision to do it? And Wendy says she would have to. I'm a grown-up. Remember, this is a murder trial suggesting this woman doesn't respect her adult children and used one of them to murder the ex-spouse of another. She's like, oh yeah, my mother respects me. I'm a grown-up. Sure. Right. Okay. They show Donna making references of Americans wearing Nazi uniforms to get behind enemy lines and suggested dressing the kids up as Hitler Youth. Wendy sure has a thing, right? She downplayed it and says, well, her mom suggested it. It's just amazing. Like, and the defense was worried about the comment about the black judge. Wow. Donna wanted to scare Dan. Wendy was suggested as paying part of $350,000, but said she wouldn't have done that. The divorce reached a settlement. Wendy's phone was taken by police. Well, she says she turned it over, and she knew about the wiretaps and actually identified family voices on the wiretaps. After divorce was final, even more was filed. She says Danny wouldn't pay her half of the house value. Uh, Her attorney filed against him for that, and then Danny accused her attorney of committing fraud. So take a step back and think about this. We already know that the state has suggested that Donna, well, not suggest, said that Donna tried to bribe people to lie in this case. And then we have Donna trying to control the legal process. And then we have Donna having a lawyer switched because the lawyer told them they couldn't do something. And then the new lawyer is being accused of fraud. Imagine you're on the jury and then you just look at her law team. Look at Donna's law team and like, huh, I wonder if anything's going to be filed against them when this ends. Like, it has to come to mind. Like, they're human. Anyone involved in the legal process of this family keeps doing things, right? Let's see here. Wendy confirms Dan complaining about Skype calls not happening. Wendy downplays it, says it was a few minutes late. Wendy claims she always played nice, and state says you filed to hold him in contempt, and Wendy claimed no, her lawyer filed that. And the state has to explain the lawyer represents you. Wendy says she doesn't remember shutting off Skype contact, but then they show proof, so Wendy blames it on her lawyer. Again, imagine you're the jury now looking at the defense's lawyers. Like, huh. We're seeing a pattern with past lawyers. What's the current one doing? I wouldn't. Oh, wow. Wendy didn't have the money she claims to buy a house because she didn't have the money Dan wouldn't give her. Wendy doesn't remember if her mom or brother made comments about buying the house. So Wendy's like, oh, I didn't buy the house because I didn't have the money. But there's receipts, and it's a big receipt. A photo of her brother with Katie, remember, they're both in prison, along with a message saying not to buy the house because you won't be living in Tallahassee much longer. Two members of the murder plot. Wendy says she doesn't remember. Wendy says she doesn't remember asking for her mom's help with the Skype stuff. Dan accused Wendy's attorney of fraud on the court, and the court should award him the value of the undisclosed assets. Donna responded, we need a plan of attack, but Wendy didn't remember. Wendy's attorney had to recuse herself because she's now a witness. Wendy said she didn't remember them moving around at that time, but the state has lease information. Lease information. Interesting. Wendy's parents, Donna, moved into a location about 3 months before the murder. Well, hold up. Did I miss something? I might have not written this part down. Basically, Wendy's parents got a lease. Okay, here it is. Wendy says she doesn't remember her parents moving around at that time, but the state provided lease information. Wendy moved into the location on that lease about 3 months before the murder. I think. Anyway, it could have been the parents moved in. Anyway, they are living at that location. Let me just continue. Wendy moved into that location about 3 months before the murder. That's what I wrote. It might be the parents, but Wendy says it was her brother's idea. Her parents tried living there. Wendy says she doesn't remember being added as a resident before the murder, but she was added as a resident at some point. They have proof. Wendy says she doesn't remember the grandma motion. She doesn't remember the motion to restrict Donna from the kids. Wendy later admits to hearing about it. It was never heard in court because Dan was killed. So I want to go back because I know I got a little confused here. Basically, the state is suggesting that Donna was pre-leasing a property to have a place for Wendy to go when Dan is killed. That's the way I understood it. And it didn't make sense why they're suddenly leasing a place. And the excuse is, oh, my brother wanted them to try living in other areas. But remember, South Florida is super important and they can't move and they all got to be in this one location. Suddenly it doesn't matter. Really weird. Wendy says she doesn't remember why she didn't give her mom the actual grandma motion. State has receipts. Donna was traveling to Tallahassee. They show parts of the grandma motion. Donna telling the boys things like their dad was taking their sunshines away. This email was sent to 12 different people. Wendy doesn't remember her mom's response. Wendy says she doesn't remember telling her friend Danny is a monster. They have receipts, I think. No, they don't have receipts for this one, but it was funny because the defense tried to object, and the judge is like, she can talk about her own recollections of what she says to people. But now we have a lunch break, and we'll be back with more Wendy, I guess. Oh boy. They begin talking about Charlie. Wendy and Charlie spoke regularly. Her brother was a single guy dating a lot of people, and he liked nice things. Wendy says she doesn't remember talking to him about her marital problems. She doesn't remember a lot, huh? That's just, the remembering and not remembering thing, it gets really funny in a bit, trust me. Her brother didn't like Danny. Her brother made a joke about hiring a hitman. Wendy told that joke to someone she was dating after Danny. Wendy says she doesn't remember if her parents gave an opinion, but the state points out a text where she said her parents weren't into the new guy. So Donna's still interfering in her relationships. Wendy had a Geek Squad appointment for the TV. Donna texted Wendy Geek Squad were on the way that morning. I think defense says it was her father, but still the parents. Damage wasn't covered under warranty. The repairman was there for about an hour. Wendy says she doesn't remember crying and being upset when the repairman was there. Are we gonna get the repairman as a witness? And my eyes hurt, by the way. It's late. I mean, the thing is, if we get a repairman as a witness and she is like crying in the home during a repair, that's seems like she might know something, right? But maybe that would be a witness for a trial against Wendy, which could be in the future. Wendy went to dinner after the murder and vomited at the table with her brother while in South Florida. This was several weeks later. It's a little out of order. Wendy claims she only heard her brother call it a celebratory dinner in previous trials. Wendy had met Katie before through her brother. They show a photo of Wendy at the beach with Katie about a month before the murder. She was back south again to the beach before the murder for her father's birthday, I think it was. Wendy says no discussion she can remember about relocation strategies or talking about pending motions in that time. So, we're supposed to believe they are sending all of these emails, right? But when in person, they don't talk. Wendy more or less remembers the day the TV repairman came. It was the same time Dan was killed. She doesn't remember who paid the repairman. Wendy said she and mom never used TV as a code for the murder. Wendy doesn't remember telling her boyfriend something in confidence about a week before the murder. Ooh, really? She doesn't remember telling him if something happened to Danny, then Wendy could move back to Miami. She doesn't remember saying Charlie seriously considered hiring a hitman to the new boyfriend. She denies the conversation happened at all, actually. Wendy, 4 days before the murder, sent the ex an email saying she didn't want contact for a certain period of time. So it sounds like maybe the boyfriend wasn't into it and she's like, cut off contact. Wendy encountered a roadblock on the day of the murder. So she, it sounds like, was heading in the direction of the murder and then encountered a roadblock. Coincidence, really. Dan dropped the kids off at preschool and Wendy was to pick them up after. Wendy didn't try to contact him after encountering the roadblock, though. Wendy says she doesn't remember if Dan was scheduled to leave the next day. More receipts? She knew. She told law enforcement. Wendy doesn't know how the killers knew that information, though. Donna normally knows that information. She kept track of when Dan was out of town. Like when it became an issue during the divorce, Donna had a full list going back years of exactly the dates of his travel. Wendy has excuses. It's just to keep track of things. So how do the killers know his scheduling, right? Well, your mom knows all that. Dan told Wendy he would be at the gym the morning of the murder. Wendy spoke to Charlie the morning of the murder. She says it was asking about the TV and says she can't remember mentioning Dan's travel plans. Wendy doesn't remember using WhatsApp with her family or Catherine. Wendy went to the liquor store to get bullet bourbon for a party and saw law enforcement at lunch. She went to South Florida after the funeral, and she was down south already 48 hours later with her family. Wendy says she was not happy to be out of Tallahassee, but the state has receipts to her brother that she was happy, and the state asked for a sidebar. Wendy changed her children's names after Dan was killed. Her parents used the new names before the legal changes happened, and I think it was before the murder. Wendy and her kids did not attend Dan's funeral. Wendy says she hasn't spoken to her mom since November 2023. Wendy gave testimony in November 2023, and her mom coached her on what to say to support Charlie. After the case, Donna was devastated because Wendy didn't support Charlie. Wendy said she didn't know what happened, doesn't think she ever accidentally gave information that could have been used by the killers, but her brother made a tasteless joke about hiring a hitman. But someone did hire a hitman to kill Dan. Wendy says she wasn't involved in a plot to kill Danny. Wendy told the officer on the way to be interviewed she was worried that she might be a suspect. In fact, she said it 9 times. She wasn't told it was a shooting while at the restaurant. In the car, she learned he was shot. Wendy says she told law enforcement to search everything, including her laptop, because she didn't think she'd be going back to work. Yeah. Wendy suggested her parents might be angry enough to kill him, but not capable. That's, yeah, what happened, according to the state. Wendy is asked who might do it. She says things like former student or friend. They correct her. When she talked to the police, first name was Charlie. When asked, the person responsible should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, regardless of who it is, she told the police it would be different if it were my brother. Wendy called her mom from the interview room. Wendy asked her mom to put her on speakerphone and to tell Charlie. But she also talked about her dad being in the shower, so why does she need to be on speakerphone? Wendy doesn't remember saying her mom handled that pretty well, but state has receipts. The defense is up for cross, and this is where the I don't remembers disappear quite a bit, you'll notice. And it's very pointless. Most of what the defense says here, I think, is utterly pointless. Wendy has read her interview but never listened to it, but now she can remember the shock in her mother's voice once the defense prompted her. She went to the beach with Katie without Charlie or her mom. She also went to dinner with Katie and Charlie without her mom. Family details about her life. She called her mom loving and sympathetic, but doesn't remember that, but it sounds right. She radiates positivity. What Donna did was for others. I don't know if that's really what you want to do. Like, oh, she's so selfless. She'll do anything for others. Like, maybe have her son hire a hitman. I don't know if you want to, go that route, but they did. Donna helped with the babies. Donna helped during the divorce with the kids. You're just telling people how involved Donna was. Talk where parents lived and worked. Talk of Danny vacationing with a family in the past. The Skyping issues were actually due to Wendy, not Donna. Donna was always kind to Danny before, during, and after the divorce. Danny was critical of Wendy in the divorce filings, though. This upset Wendy, and she shared it with her mom, and then Donna used bad words after Wendy shared it. Just infantilizing Donna, of course. Donna helped Danny with the kids. They are claiming the grandmother motion wasn't even to keep Donna from her having unsupervised access to the kids at all. That's not what it was. It was about, I think it was priority of who takes care of the kids, and her mom never saw that motion. Now is talk of the $1 million bribe. It was actually to relocate Danny to Miami so we could have a bigger part of his kids' lives. Wendy had a job offer in Miami, and Danny didn't want her to do it. Wendy always wanted Danny to be part of the kids' lives. Never, never, never. That's just a reference to a necklace. The dad forwarded the TV repair to her, and they would accept a sooner appointment if available. Wendy put the children's name at the school as Adeleson, which is why Donna used it early. She said Charlie didn't convince her not to purchase the home. It was Dan's fault. Donna just made suggestions when it came to saying the kids were Christian. Donna didn't hate Danny, she was just mad at him. She says really she meant she wouldn't have had the strength to leave Danny without her family pushing it. So there's that whole thing where she's like, she probably wouldn't have left if not for them. Now they gave me the strength. And I love how she's suddenly remembering all of this, right? Suddenly, Wendy told police Danny's parents were going to think she is the one who did it. Wendy told her mom she couldn't sit on the relocation hearing because she'd be testifying. They asked about Wendy taking a trip with Miguel before the divorce was finalized. It was for a law conference Wendy spoke at. Wendy has a message to someone about how she wanted to live her life. The last bullet point is about wanting to keep her job, and it's a talk of not wanting to leave Tallahassee. Wendy agreed with Dan's messages about handling relocation things peacefully. A suggestion for Wendy to tell Charlie and her parents she's going to stay in Tallahassee. Wendy said something along the lines of, for the chance to save face with my family and be given an opportunity, I don't actually want to live with them in South Florida. She talks of keeping up appearances with her parents that she wants to live with them. So, I don't know how this helps the defense. At this point, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so you're just showing you're putting out this thing that makes it seem like she's afraid to tell her mother the truth and that maybe her mother did something against her wishes to Danny. Like, that is where the defense is putting my head right now. Like, why are you doing this? The defense suggests Wendy gave up partway through the relocation hearing, didn't have testimony from all the witnesses, including Donna, and it was done. Then Donna wrote the ugly emails. Wendy stipulated to that denial with prejudice. Wendy agreed to it. And so Wendy, without telling her parents, agreed no moving. All right? Again, this is looking like Wendy is having to secretly fight against Donna because she's so controlling. Don't think this helps the defense, not with this backstory that's been built up in the case. The defense suggests Wendy didn't tell her parents she stipulated to the denial with prejudice, and Wendy says she doesn't remember if she told them or not. And so the defense is saying, so Donna thought there was still a shot. Wendy doesn't know if she told her mom it with prejudice at the end or not. You're telling me Donna has access and is looking through all of these court documents and suddenly doesn't know, right? She suddenly doesn't understand. The defense is basically goes into a rant at this point that Donna only said those things because she didn't know it was over because Wendy didn't tell her, and basically blaming Wendy that these damning things are before the court. Defense says Wendy said she hated him when he was killed, and Wendy says she doesn't remember, and the defense says we need a break, and then there's a short break. And mixed in there was a lot of other things, honestly, from the defense, but a lot of it is just like, isn't Donna so sweet? Isn't Donna so great? Why didn't you tell Donna? You didn't tell Donna this. I don't think it helps. I don't think this helps the defense. This sounds so bad. To me, this all just sounds like Donna. It doesn't just make Donna sound bad. To me, it makes the lawyer feel like an extension of a hyper-controlling person, kind of like how I felt when I watched, for example, the Sarah Boone case, and certain things were said, and you go, that's Boone speaking, right? This feels like the Donna from the email speaking. Because remember, I still have not heard Donna speak, and in my head, all these things she says are just Sarah Boone and Lori Vallow's voices because it's just so similar to me. And we continue. Before getting married to Danny, she did say she wasn't sure she actually loved him. She doesn't remember, but the defense has an exhibit that she said that in 2013. The boys lost their father when he died. Anyone responsible, even in your own family, should be held responsible, even you. Yes, anyone responsible. Redirect time. Wendy called herself an actor in someone else's show, and one of those people was her own mother. Part of the reason she pushed relocation with doubts was due to her mom pushing her. Wendy says she doesn't remember stipulating to the order and says previously she didn't know what with prejudice meant. Don't believe her. I don't believe that at all, but it's what she said. On cross, it was said she didn't tell her mom it was final. State approaches defense with a document, and the defense attorney that made all those statements just kind of looks like vacant. She seems to just like have her soul ripped out. It was really weird. It's an email from Donna and her father's Donna and Harvey's email to one of their friends, and it's signed Love Donna, about there being no appeal possible. This was said 5 days after the order. So the whole Nazi defense essentially just went away. Like, the defense just wasted all that time, and the jury just knows that that's just not true. Wow. Not a good look. Donna didn't tell Wendy she wanted to harm Danny, but she said she wanted to bribe him, take control of him, aggravate him. She doesn't remember scare him, take something from him. Show that fucker what would make him absolutely miserable. Donna was devoted to her boys. Wendy to the boys. Wendy is asked if she cared too much, and the reply is, I don't know if you can care too much. I would say there is a level you can. Yeah, like I would say that Lori Vallow cares too much about Chad Daybell, and Sarah Boone cares too much about Woodbridge Chardonnay. You know, the Nazi uniform craziness came from some version of Donna's love. Her lawyers tried to downplay it, but she was suggesting a baptism. She said she looked into it and could get it done in 2 weeks. It would be harmless because it's just playing dress up to the boys. The ends justify the means. She thought relocation to South Florida was best for those two boys. Wendy says Donna cares about her dad more than Wendy's kids, which I'm noticing the dad hasn't been charged, so is the only one really sheltered from this going to end up being the father? Because, I mean, Wendy sounds like, I mean, I'm just saying, might be another case. Donna thought relocation was best for the boys and Wendy. Your lives all depended on it, according to Donna. Dan could have moved South Florida, enjoyed all the kosher food. Dan wouldn't give Donna what she wanted. Next up is Robert Adelson. The judge tells him he can't testify on an opinion if he thinks his family committed a crime. Oh boy, they ask the defense if they have any other stipulations they want, which makes me think he has an opinion the defense wouldn't like. He lives in New York. Donna is his mother, and he grew up with the family, and he's the oldest child. So he would, we're talking children, he would know Donna the best, right? Robert moved out when he was 18, went to college. He would talk to them while in school and visit. Donna runs the family. Donna's controlling. Donna's assertive. Harvey is the opposite. He's passive. Donna had fixed ideas of her children's lives, and it wasn't acceptable to not do what Donna wanted. Donna had ideas of the jobs they could have and who they could marry. He became a doctor partly because that job was okay with Donna. Donna tried to control their lives. Donna shifted attention to Wendy when she had trouble in her marriage. So, Donna went all in. Talk of it, Donna is gullible. There's an approach. The objection sustained. Charlie was dependent on Donna. Charlie bought the practice from Dad and sold it back to him later. Donna would do the bankroll, always did. Donna asked questions before doing something when she's asked. Donna approved of Dan at first. Everything was bad only after Wendy moved out, as far as he knew. Donna hated Danny in 2014. Wendy played damsel in distress during the divorce. Donna said Danny is depoting Wendy to death. They asked, how did Donna explain how Wendy left the marriage? There's an objection, there's an approach. The plan for Wendy to leave was done while Donna was in Tallahassee, staying there for a while and began renting a place. Donna spent months preparing for Wendy to move in, moving money around. This was all done for Wendy to move out. It was all told to him after she moved out. And when she told Robert, Donna was gleeful, and they told Danny just before he gave a speech at a meeting. So Donna is so happy, like, listen, we got him. We had a secret move out, and we ruined his day, possibly ruined his speech, affecting his work. It's a great day. That's Donna. Donna used her maiden name to hide that an Adeleson wasn't renting an apartment and moving things. Donna sounded pleased telling him all of this. He saw Donna checking emails and sending messages about the divorce. Donna was at his own house and wanted the Wi-Fi to work on the divorce filings. Donna told him about the $1 million bribe. Donna said she was spending a lot of time in Tallahassee. Donna cared about Wendy's divorce. Charlie cared about things like go-karts and jet skis. It didn't seem Wendy moving to Miami was important to Charlie at all. Donna seemed obsessed about Wendy taking a job in Miami. In fact, after the murder, the only time Robert saw Donna angry was when Wendy didn't get that job that Donna wanted her to have. So, yeah, Donna didn't get her way. She's angry. Wendy had a boyfriend before Dan's murder. Odd, since Wendy didn't normally talk about dating, but she told Robert. The text told him to not tell the parents about the boyfriend. Defense objects, sustained. state approaches. We get back here, and we basically get the same thing out. The text was received that Jeff was her boyfriend. The parents didn't know. It was unusual. She was telling him about a boyfriend and not telling the parents. Robert told the authorities about the boyfriend that the parents weren't told about. The email about going to the grandfather's birthday was sent by Donna. It was a recently new location that they moved to, 6 months around then they moved there. He heard about Danny's murder the day after. Donna contacted him. It was very matter of fact. She said someone went up to Danny at the front door, asked if he was Dan Markel, and shot him. Robert asked how Donna knew that, and she said that's what they are telling us. It bothered him, because there's only one way you could hear that story. I wonder if that means the original plot was that, and they said did it in the car. Danny told him not to talk to the police. Donna told him not to talk to police. Sorry, I got like I was thinking my eye earlier, and it's killing me, and I was trying to get through this. Donna told him not to talk to the police, and he said he already did, and Donna's response was, oh, well, you don't know anything anyway. Nobody in the family seemed concerned about who killed Danny. Asking about it was discouraged or rerouted. He finally asked Donna, and she said, I don't know and don't care. He remembers the hitman being arrested. Donna called him 2 days later to talk about his anniversary. She didn't bring it up herself. He brought it up. Donna just didn't respond. He said it 2 or 3 times, and then Donna said, I have to go, and they never spoke again. That's the last time he spoke to his mother. Defense is up, asking how many times he visited his family between the 12th and 14th. A couple times he had a new kid being born. He didn't visit his family the summer after Danny was murdered. Donna said a family friend advised them to not talk to the police, and she told him that. Next witness is Officer Brandon. He responded to the murder scene. He was watching the police barrier. They show a map of the area. A vehicle consistent with Wendy's approach to the roadblock. It seemed deliberate, without hesitation, to turn around. He said, normally, someone approaches the roadblock, you kind of hesitate, and then you leave. This vehicle, which he recognized the exact make and model because his son drives the same thing, basically came over, didn't miss a beat, and turned around. Very deliberate. And that's the end for the day. I think the defense is terrible. I am being told in the comments that the defense lawyer that I think is the worst one, I think is the one that does every time she speaks, I think it's getting worse for Donna. She's the one that had like that blank expression. Being told in the comments that she's a former judge. And just, again, you have this entire thing around the Adelsons where they're like, from the jury's point of view, we have Donna trying to bribe people for this case, and we have Wendy's attorney possibly doing things that are wrong, and then we have attorneys telling the family not to talk. Like I would not want to be an attorney on the Adelson side at this point. That's what I'm going to say. It doesn't seem to end well for them. You know what I mean? I don't know how. I guess there's nothing directly tying Donna telling Charlie to do it, right? That has to be the only saving grace they have. There's no direct connection so far. But I will say, the defense kind of suggesting, even you, as like a fuck you to Wendy, like, you know, it's putting in the if you put it into the jury's head that Wendy's involved, that doesn't save Donna. It's just taking her down with her, right? If they charge Wendy later, not that they can use what's said in this case against her, but you know, it's not helping Donna. And that felt like a very Sarah Boone-esque moment where it's like, I'm just going to insult you because I know the public's going to see it. Like she did in her final statement, right? That type of thing. Now, speaking of Sarah Boone, fully aware the court minutes are up, all right? I'm fully aware the court minutes are up of her family court case. They have been posted across Reddit and Twitter. I've seen it multiple places. I've seen one person, well, a group of people did a video about being in the case. See people talk about being in the trial, what they saw, what the court appearance, and it's it sounds fascinating, and I kind of want to hold back and try to hopefully get a couple more people's perspective so I can catch maybe interesting moments that others, didn't mention, and kind of conglomerate it and give my thoughts about what happened in the actual court appearance. That is my hope. So I'm kind of delaying that. Um, Maybe tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. But I'm also trying to cover this. But the Sarah thing probably won't be that long. If I can't find enough of what I'm looking for with Sarah tomorrow, what I might do is a video on the court minutes and do a little speaking about what people are saying happened in court, just a little bit, and then plan to do a follow-up later after I really can dive into like more people talking about it, because it sounds like it was a mess, and it sounds like Brian really stood up for himself, and it sounds really good for him. So I really want to make sure I can do it as much justice as I can when talking about it. But I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this one, and sorry it's coming out so late. I'll probably schedule this for the morning because it's like 4 a.m., something like that when I did this. I've been up working on it. I had a late start to the day, but I've gotten through it all, and I can just imagine the things I don't know about the Adelson case because I'm just now coming in. There's so much.